If you're just starting out shooting your own footage on your phone or a more advanced camera like a DSLR, the one thing you would want to pay attention to is what part of your frame your camera focus is set to, and how you are using depth of field to ensure your audiences experience your video the same way as you would want them to. Depth of field is what makes your favorite YouTuber stand out from their background when they're talking to you in a tutorial video just like this. And it's what lets you experience their vlogs as if you're in them, walking hand in hand in their adventures and misadventures. So in this video, we are going to break down 3 types of camera focus that are most frequently used by pro creators and filmmakers, and how you can mix and match them to create depth of field in your shots. Sounds useful? Let's jump right in. Let's start by understanding what exactly is depth of field and the role it plays in bringing out the narrative of your video. Simply put, it's the space between the closest and the farthest object that are clearly visible in your frame, and how this space can be used to convey various emotional states by altering what and how the camera focuses on. For example, when you showcase the subject and the background objects with equal clarity, you are said to have a deep depth of field, since the distance between the nearest and the farthest objects that are clearly visible in your frame is significant. Deep depth of field, also called as deep focus, is typically used for establishing context for your audience and helping them understand the relationship of your subject with its surroundings. Is your subject running towards a beach in a travel vlog? Or is he addressing an audience on stage? Or are they just lost in a crowd full of people? On the other hand, when you showcase your subject in clarity and blur the background, you are said to have a shallow depth of field, since the only object in the frame is your subject and that is placed quite close to the camera. Shallow depth of field, also called shallow focus, is typically used to guide your audience's attention to your subject, as is the case with this video, where you'll notice that the background is blurry and only that I'm in complete focus, which helps you pay attention to me and what I'm saying. But had we shot this video with deep focus, you'd see that there's a lot of elements in the background that you'd be tempted to pay attention to, making my job more difficult to retain your attention to the content of the video. As you would have guessed by now, shallow focus is used in explainer videos on YouTube, interview videos, as well as product videos, where you would want to focus on the finer details of your product. We'll cover how you can create depth of field with your camera later in this video. But before that, let's cover the different types of focus you can use in your shot. We already spoke about deep focus, where all elements of your frame, the foreground, the middle ground, and the background are in sharp focus. And we touched upon shallow focus, where you keep a small area of your frame in focus and blur the rest to highlight a detail or make your subject the center of attention. But with both these shots, you're keeping your focus consistent throughout. In the first case, your shot shows all elements in your frame with precise clarity, and in the second frame, the focus is only on your subject. So let's cover a technique that allows you to change your focus and depth of field in the middle of the shot. We call this rack focus. It's the art of transitioning your shallow depth of field between different objects in the shot, and can be your best friend in terms of guiding the audience's eye to shift focus from one object to another and back. It's a super effective way to show your subject's POV or highlight a detail temporarily in your frame that your audience wouldn't have noticed otherwise. If you're creating a product commercial and have a moving subject, you'll often need to use this technique to shift your focus from the person in the frame to your product and back to the person, so that you can seamlessly create a connection between these elements without cutting the shot. Now let's quickly understand how do you create deep or shallow focus in your shots by using the aperture settings in your camera. Your aperture settings basically denotes the extent to which your lens is open to allow light to come in. It's usually denoted by an f-stop number such as f1.3 or f3.5. If you're completely new to using manual settings on your phone or your DSLR camera, all you need to remember is that the higher the f-stop number, such as f5.6, f6.3 or f8, the deeper the depth of field. On the other hand, the lower the f-stop number, such as f2.8, f2.2 or f1.8, the shallower the depth of field. If you want to create deep focus and showcase all elements in your frame with utmost clarity, shoot with higher f-stop. And if you want to solely focus on your subject and create a shallow focus, shoot with lower f-stop. With that, you now have an in-depth understanding of depth of field and how you can use it to your advantage to make your shots stand out and create an immersive storytelling experience from your first frame. Did you find this video useful? What was your biggest takeaway from it? Please do share your feedback in the comments below so that we actually understand if we're helping you out and adding value to your video creation process. And if you want to delve deeper into different types of camera movements that you can use to create cinematic videos, you would definitely want to check out this video next. This is Christine from InVideo, and I will see you in the next one.